And in business this morning, the Joy Technology and Innovation Summit, JOTIS 2015, is happening tomorrow, is happening on Wednesday, October 21st, inside the Kofi Annan ICT Center at 10 a.m. The event is expected to celebrate Ghanaians in the ICT sector who are making a change with their technologies. One of such ICT gem, Randolph Owusu, a software developer, spoke to Joy Business about why he will be participating in this year's event.
Our product is called Besa. Besa is available on Android and Windows Phone. It's a mobile application that allows you to talk to a doctor. If you have any health-related problem, you just download the app and send a query to a doctor. And within 24 hours, you're going to get a response. So we basically have 5 doctors who are on standby that will answer your questions when you send it in.
How easily accessible is your application?
These days, it's like a high penetration of high-end mobile phones. That's like Android and iOS. So you can download it on Android store or the Windows Phone store. I believe when the president talked about made in Ghana products, he wasn't just referring to different things. So he was referring to things like technology, made in Ghana technology. So I believe coming to see the new revolution of young people who want to use technology to transform things around them. So you basically see things like that, very unique, different applications, technologies that are meant for Ghana. It's not just applications that are meant for the world, but built in Ghana, built with Ghana in mind.
So for those who are listening or watching you, what would you want to tell them about this year's JOTIS?
I believe it's a unique exhibition. They have very powerful speakers that will be talking about technology, and you get to meet young application developers, small startups that are creating change with just a laptop and internet connection.
The Ghana Community Network Services Limited, GCNet, has debunked suggestions that it is performing the same function as the new single window agreement with West Blue Ghana Limited. Now, the single window concept provides an opportunity for traders to lodge their documents, including certificates of origin, invoices, customs declarations, and import-export permits at a single location to be accessed by all regulatory and trade agencies.
Well, there has been, a fundamental change in the import processing regime, and it comes with, several expectations, even misunderstandings among stakeholders, what the respective roles of, the various players are concerned. In the case of GCNet, for example, GCNet has never been involved in valuation, any of the destination inspection services, but there was a lot of miscommunication, misunderstanding, and several people thought, GCNet was, in one way or the other, also ceding its, its services. But this is not the case. One understands the process. GCNet has been involved in the TradeNet and then the customs management system, and there's a need to ensure that, there is complementarity, to the best interest of all stakeholders.
The Trades Ministry, meanwhile, during the tour at the company's premise, tasked the group to ensure that the process of trade facilitation is smooth and convenient for businesses.
The interest here is about making sure that information about Ghana's imports and exports become as much online and as much real time as possible, so that on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, any business person, any importer or any exporter or any government official who wants to know anything about imports and exports can literally get it on their tablets, on their laptops or on their phones. So GCNet has made a lot of progress with regards to the ICT infrastructure, with regards to the content aggregation, and they're also showing us some of the analytic work that can be done to disaggregate the big data, so that if you want to know where particular goods have come from within a period, how imports from one country compares to another, what is being imported most into Ghana from which port of entry, then that information should be available for business planning.
Now, Trade Minister Dr. Akosua Gabra is insisting government will be introducing policies that will sanction businesses that go in for products that can be made locally, despite negative reactions from businesses who depend largely on imports. Now, during a tour to local liquor manufacturing company Gihog Distilleries, Dr. Akosua Gabra told Joy Business the move is a sure way to grow the local economy.
There are certain hotels apparently in Ghana which consciously refuse to stock Ghanaian distilled products. And apparently there are some retail outlets also that apparently are doing the same. And so we are going to be on the lookout and the warpath for such institutions, and if they don't respond positively to a presidential directive, then there will be legislation that will compel them to do this.
Meanwhile, local businesses are struggling with capital in order to produce enough to meet local demand. But chairman of Gehog Distilleries, Adekoka, spoke to Joy Business.
Well, the problem is capital, especially this is also a state-owned company, right? So we don't have the largesse or we don't have the luxury of putting more capital in. If we're a private company, they are able to go and raise funds regardless of where the consequence. But we have to depend on government institutions like EDIF to give us the relevant funds to do our. So it's a challenge for us. The banks must be able to give us enough capital at competitive rates. But if they are giving you rates at 35%, it's difficult for you. So they should have a structure that with companies like this, you lend at maybe 12%, 12.5%, like EDIF is doing.
Quality Assurance Manager of Gehog Distilleries, Abraham Nikwe, however, says the main challenge to their operations is the state of the roads around the North Industrial Area.
Yeah, here currently the main challenge is the road. Yeah, the road network. As you can see, there is construction work going on. It is not the best though, but we are managing the situation. Yeah, and it has left the whole place very dusty. Yes. Apart from that, the position as it is closer to the circle construction going on, we have flood situations anytime it rains here.
Well, that'll be it for Business Time now for us to check out the very latest in the world of sports.